For years, the story of Texas, it's been all about explosive growth, right? Endless opportunity, a housing market that just wouldn't quit. But is that story starting to change? Today, we're looking at a bunch of factors coming together that have some experts asking a pretty scary question. Is the Lone Star State headed for a full-blown real estate crisis? Let's dive into the data and see what's really going on. Okay, let's just start with one single, kind of shocking number. Right now, Texas is number one in the entire country for foreclosure completions. Yeah, that's not a list you want to be at the top of. It's like a big flashing red light that something is seriously wrong under the hood of the Texas economy. So the big question is, how did we get here? Look, what we're seeing, it isn't just one thing going wrong. It's more like a perfect storm. You've got three different forces all hitting homeowners at the exact same time, creating this insane pressure cooker situation. So we're going to break down each one of these forces piece by piece to really understand how they're all feeding this crisis. All right, let's kick things off with something every single homeowner feels, but in Texas, it's become, well, uniquely intense. I'm talking about property taxes. And this isn't just about, paying your fair share. For a whole lot of people, it's become a completely unsustainable burden that's pushing them right to the edge. And just look at where these tax rates are coming from. These are the exact counties that have been driving the whole Texas economic boom. We're talking effective rates well over 2%. I mean, that's some of the highest in the entire nation. So think about it. As home values went through the roof, the tax bills went right along with them, even when the tax rate itself stayed the same. It's a huge hit. But here's the thing. It's not just that the tax bills are high. That's only half the story. The really crucial part is how fast you can lose your home. If you miss a payment, bam, a 6% penalty hits you immediately. Plus, you've got interest piling up every single month. And get this, foreclosure can start after just 1 year. That gives Texas the second shortest foreclosure timeline in the whole country. It gives homeowners almost no time to recover if they hit a rough patch. Okay, let's move on to the second major force in the storm, and that's the absolute meltdown of the home insurance market. It's like if the tax bill doesn't get you, the insurance premium is waiting right around the corner. For so many Texans, this cost is just becoming totally unpredictable and, frankly, unaffordable. And the numbers here, they're just staggering. The average Texan right now is paying over $4,000 a year for home insurance, and that's on a pretty standard $300,000 home. That's a whopping $1,700 more than the national average. That is not a small difference. It's a massive extra weight on families year after year. But you know what? That average cost, it doesn't even tell the whole story. Not even close. We're seeing reports of homeowners getting hit with premium increases of 100 to 200%. I mean, their bills are doubling, sometimes tripling, in just 2 years. Can you even imagine your housing costs suddenly jumping by thousands of dollars out of nowhere? That's the reality for a lot of people right now. So what happens when private insurance companies just pack up and leave the market? Where do people go? Well, they're forced onto the state's insurer of last resort, something called the FAIR Plan. And the number of homes on that plan has more than doubled since early 2022, over 121,000 properties. That is a huge red flag. It's a direct signal that the private market has failed. These are literally people who cannot get insurance anywhere else. Okay, so we've got homeowners getting absolutely squeezed by taxes on one side and insurance on the other. But the third piece of this perfect storm, it's what's happening to the value of their biggest asset, their house. That red-hot Texas housing market we all heard about, yeah, it's cooling down. And it's cooling down fast. Just take a look at the housing inventory. Right now, across Texas, it is sitting more than 50% above what's considered normal. To put it simply, there are way more houses for sale than there are people looking to buy. So those crazy bidding wars, yeah, those days are over. This massive oversupply means all the power is shifting back to the buyers. And this cooling trend, it's hitting different parts of the state in different ways. In Austin, for example, it's a straight-up price drop, a 6% decline in median prices, which is the steepest in the entire country. But then you look at San Antonio, and it's more like stagnation. Houses are just sitting there for an average of 83 days. That's the slowest market in the U.S. Either way you slice it, whether prices are dropping or houses aren't selling, it's bad news for sellers. Now, here's a little piece of historical context that should really make you sit up and pay attention. The number of sellers who are cutting their prices, that rate is the highest it's been since 2011. And why is 2011 such a big deal? Because that was right after the last major foreclosure crisis. It's a sign of real desperation starting to creep into the market. So there you have it, the three big pressures: crushing taxes, insane insurance costs, and a housing market that's hitting the brakes. But the real question is, how are these things all mixing together? What does it mean for the bigger picture in Texas? I mean, where does this all go from here? And that leads us to a really critical question. Is all this pain just stuck with residential real estate, with regular homeowners? Or are we starting to see this problem spill over into other, maybe even bigger parts of the market? Well, the answer seems to be a big yes. It is spilling over, and it's hitting commercial real estate. Take a look at this number, $710 million. That's the value of commercial multifamily loans. We're talking big apartment buildings that are headed to foreclosure auction in a single month. That is a 78% jump from just a few months ago. And the experts, they're warning that this is just the beginning. So let's just put all the pieces together one last time. You've got homeowners getting crushed by sky-high property taxes and an insurance market that's just broken. At the very same time, the value of their homes is dropping while the number of houses for sale is exploding. Then you throw in the fact that fewer people are moving to the state, and you see serious trouble in the commercial market, and there it is, the complete picture of this perfect storm. And all of this, it brings us to one last really big question. For decades, the whole Texas model was built on a simple promise, right? Low taxes and affordable housing. That's what fueled all that incredible growth. But now, with both of those pillars starting to crack, you have to wonder, is this more than just another market cycle? Could this be a fundamental challenge to the entire idea of the Texas miracle itself?